Welcome back, everybody, to the 2025 C3 Finals. It's Championship Sunday. Joining me again here is Skyline. Excited to be here for Championship Sundays and getting things underway.
I've been looking forward to this, Bear Lights. I mean, all these teams from around the Carolinas finally getting to compete on Championship Sunday in the playoff to try to take home that title that Charlotte has held for so long now. And with how Charlotte was looking yesterday, it is very possible that one of these teams is going to be the new holder of that trophy.
There's no doubt about it. And so right now, we're going to get you right into the match because they are ready to go, cranking it up as well. So UNCW facing off with Winthrop here today. Winthrop came into the weekend as the number 2 seed. They'll remain number 2 as well coming into Championship Sunday. So all things considered, they had a solid showing, but there are some holes and gaps there as well. I mean, they went 0-3 against Clemson. That opens the door a little bit. So from the perspective of UNCW, you got to imagine they're feeling at least a little bit hopeful here going into this match.
Yeah, I mean, even so with that loss, because Clemson was playing really good during that, Winthrop still did good on the day, sweeping Charlotte, and not only sweeping Charlotte, but taking South Carolina to 5. So South Carolina, obviously being the number 1 seed, is going to be a hard team to beat for most of these teams. But Wilmington, they were a team that looked to start out really good into this to the day yesterday, and then yesterday they started slowing down a little bit towards the end. So they need to look to pick it right back up if they want to beat a team like Winthrop in order to win and try to make it past even this part of the portion of the bracket. Considering this is only top 8, we still got a ways to go.
Yeah, certainly do. And we appreciate you joining us as well. There's a main channel also, so OpenC3 Esports League 2. We got our first goal on the board here of the day on this channel, at least, as Akari will give them a 1-0 lead.
Just a nice little play. The demo coming out from Phantom, and Akari just has to play a nice little shot on target. No one back as Sluggish was 0, and that's just going to be a great way to start out for Winthrop. You're looking to start out the series strong, so 1-0 with a little bit over 4 minutes remaining, and they're going to look to try to keep the pressure on. But UNC Wilmington, they're looking to go right back onto that orange half as you see the pressure and mounting the bumps trying to come out from Reticle as Steve going up in the air, forcing for Sluggish, but that's going to go right back into the hands for Winthrop. Another shot going on target, but a great save from Reticle is going to play that off the backboard and out.
Yeah, Reticle was there and prepared, and you love to see that coming out for them for sure as they continue to try and chase this game. Again, just 3:48 left, so lots of time here on the board as Phantom will 50-50 pretty strongly. The ball and find its way in the box. And Steve also catching a challenge there, but Reticle able to get it past midline. Has some room to work with too. It will be cut short though, as Phantom was able to get to that one, but a good pass from Reticle. Tried that tough angle, but shut down again by Tech.
Once again, we have Wilmington on the half of the orange, and they're looking to take it right back as Winthrop starting to fall apart a little as almost a shot going on target from Steve, but the whiff as one expected the other to hit it, so leading to both missing it. And again, the pressure just amounting for Winthrop, which we saw them do so well yesterday. They're a team that knows how to play around each other and be in the right spots. As you see the forces coming out, but the force is not enough, and the Seahawks are squawking loud already in the morning.
Sometimes you got to be creative in this 1v1 situation. You can tell Reticle was prepared for it. Gets the flick past one, and then instead of getting behind that ball, smart play to just jump out, secure the bump, knowing that the ball is going to continue in. They're able to equalize here with 3:04 left.
A lot of players in that situation will try to prioritize mechanics, but being able to use your brain right there and have that game sense to know he's last back, if he's out of the play, then no one can save it. A great way to start out the scoring for UNC Wilmington as another one goes on target for Winthrop, but barely over. T-Neck has to rotate out as it's just going right back into the hands of Seahawks. They're already looking good to start off with all this pressure that's mounting is stuck on their half, but again, the defense we also saw yesterday from them was really strong. They knew how to be on that back line and be able to make those saving clears even with low boost. So this is a Winthrop team that has to go for those demos more. They have to clear them out, or else UNC Wilmington's just going to keep playing clear after clear.
Yeah, they even played extremely strong against USC, which is the best team yesterday, in my opinion. I mean, they played extremely well. Their defense was on point. There was hardly any gaps shown, and so NCW, the other side of the coin, certainly should feel good about the start, all things considered. Yeah, they've been on the goal line for an extended period of time, but they've created some chances of their own, and need to make those decisions that we saw from Reticle. Need a lot more of that, because if you can sustain that, that's how you really find your stride here as a Seahawk.
And another player that I'm going to be looking out for, Sluggish, I remember yesterday, kind of were joking around in the Asheville series about like how his car looked like their others when they were using the Chevys. But he was doing a really good job on defense. He was like one of their main priority defenders on the back end. He was playing the safe third man to allow his teammates to kind of go out a little bit more and play that upfield presence. As we almost see a double coming out from Phantom there, as Winthrop once again keeping all the pressure on all three up. Another shot going on in the corner, and no boost for Sluggish there, and he can't reach that one. That's a 2-1 lead. for Winthrop.
Yeah, they just seemed handcuffed here when it got past Sluggish, and Tech was just able to direct this one on target, and Sluggish and Reticle just kind of hesitating as far as being able to get back to that one. So, unlucky circumstance for them, but it feels like a job well done and well accomplished from what Winthrop was building there.
Winthrop is a team that we just have to keep out looking for on the offense. I guarantee if we looked at ball possession here, it'd probably be getting like 60-40, 65-35. They've kept it on that blue half so much this game, and Wilmington is a team that knows how to capitalize on those opportunities when they get them, but so does Winthrop. I mean, what a double tap there from Phantom. Low boost, don't matter. That's just down and in.
Reticle was prepared to kind of flip that to himself, but he got bumped out of the play. And when that happens, Phantom, no hesitation, as always. I mean, he's up and prepared to be able to get up to that one, tap it down. A 3-1 lead from Winthrop, looking to close out here in this game number 1. And if you're just joining us, we appreciate you being here. A big shout out and thank you to everybody here at NC State as well on the staff. Who's doing a fantastic job this entire weekend and continues into this championship Sunday as well. It's now Phantom from the back wall. Gets a flip reset. Almost some help out in front with the bump, but not quite able to land that one here. That'll open the door a little bit here for UNCW. He needs one pretty quickly here.
After that loss against South Carolina yesterday, you know that they came into today with that on their mind. They're like, okay, we know we need to go with a vengeance. We want to put it hard in. And exactly what they do against Wilmington. Wilmington being that first matchup, and they are just going right at them every single time. Demos coming through, shots going on, and Wilmington has not found an answer.
Yeah, nothing special on that one, just pure speed and allowing your teammates to work out. You saw the demo earlier. That's going to free up space, and if you're going to allow that much space, it's going to be deadly, especially against Winthrop. So we'll see if they can kind of avoid those bumps, demos, that physicality. That's the only way you're going to be able to operate, because I feel like Winthrop's not going to give up that same strategy, as they're not letting off the gas pedal here either.
Yeah, the Seahawks right now, they should be looking towards, it's still 30 seconds in the game, and I mean, 3 goals, 30 seconds, it's very possible, but highly unlikely. So try to use this time to kind of understand, okay, how are they playing against us? What's making us so uncomfortable, so awkward against a team like Winthrop, to where we can adjust for next game and bring ourselves back in the series? Because right now, Wilmington hasn't looked terrible. They've just looked suffocated on their own end, to where they cannot get out.
That's a good point, because, you know, a lot of people say, and they talk about, and they harp on the fact that, you know, first 3 minutes or so, you're figuring out the team. No, it's a full game, especially in that circumstance where you are down. You want to be able to kind of establish yourself in a series. Great time to do it. By trying to figure out now and maybe get some momentum by seeing another goal go in. And that's what you're seeing right here as they try to allow that to develop and maybe get that momentum swinging, keeping it in the air. Even a roll 1 to add to it as well. So either way, Winthrop will walk away with this game number 1 victory, and rightfully so. I mean, they were great from the get-go.
Yeah, and don't forget, Barely, this is all best of 7s now. Yesterday was best of 5, but since it's best of 7s, they all get a timeout. I know it's only after 1 game, but if Wilmington does end up losing the next game, you would expect them to probably call a timeout just to kind of get things gathered. But let's see if they learn anything from this game. Again, Winthrop is just playing very push heavy, going for those damage, making them as awkward as possible on that backline to where they can't make those saves, and even if they have someone there, they're almost always 0 boost. So Winthrop is going to be looking to constantly engage in that, because it's working. The Seahawks have had no answer for it. They're going to be looking for one, but right now, this pop quiz has seemed like a very hard task for Winthrop to pass.
Yeah, they're looking for answers, but the answer for game number 1 was Phantom with 9 shots, just laying it on there, and felt like it as well. They've been absolutely incredible across the board. So it's just awesome being able to see them in motion. Winthrop picking up where they left off day 2 and day 1 rather, and it's just seemed like even though they lost to USC late, they wanted to make a statement piece here. If you're going to do it, make sure that you win the ones that you feel like you should as a player. And so far, so good in that game 1.
I mean, like you were saying, 15 shots in total for Winthrop compared to only 4 for Wilmington. That tells you how detrimental it was to be on that orange half and just trying to get it out into that blue half over and over and over again, to where the blue half was just being suffocated as the Seahawks just could not end up finding a way over the Winthrop, as both take to the skies. But right now, Winthrop is the one, I guess the bird of prey that's a little bit stronger than the Seahawk right now. So again, the Seahawks are going to be looking to try to get back into this one and recoup after what happened last game.
Love that. Hikari's on it now. Early up the kickoff, getting something going here, at least in the positive direction. They spent a lot of time in their defensive zone. Right now, they're starting on the opposite side of the ball. We're seeing Tech back here in the corner. Anthem's out in front, but he took a little bit long here to get to that one, and Reticle's to make him pay here. the 1-0 lead here for the Seahawks.
Already a great start for Wilmington. I mean, what a way to put the pressure on by Steve. First man attacking that ball quick, not giving any space to Winthrop. And second man immediately trusting in that, playing in quick and getting the free shot, as the third man was a little bit too overcommitted on it. Exactly what you need to see from Wilmington if you want them to win. If you're a Seahawk fan here in the chat, you know that they have the ability to beat a team like Winthrop. They just have to keep this momentum going. But right now, Winthrop is looking to get out of their own half and put the momentum right back onto the blue side with a demo coming out from T-Neck. Phantom goes for the musty under, but Steve with a good save, but it doesn't matter. The third man, Nakari, was already ready for that and playing it in the net.
Yeah, the thought was there, and Steve got over to get that challenge and got over Tech originally, got that touch too, and even jumped for that one too. It's kind of stinks being there in that situation, knowing that you had the opportunity to be able to save it and put in your 110% there in that effort. They're just a little bit stronger, and that's what happens when you're facing such an organized team. You're going to face those situations a lot, and that's why you have to play as a unit against Winthrop.
Yeah, I mean, Winthrop, again, you just see the demos coming out left and right, just with how aggressive they are. I mean, T-Neck is just a bulldozer hammering through. Somebody call the construction company, because we just witnessed so much demolition.
Oh my goodness. He's bullying him there on the backside. Man, that was rude. That was rude. But listen, do what you gotta do to win here at Championship Sunday. Listen, there's nothing but obvious, drive here to win the championship, and you're gonna do what you gotta do in order to get the job done. They even had some fun with that too. I heard them laughing across the room too whenever that was going through, because they have the positive vibes. They knew that it's a way that they can get in the heads of UNCW, and it seems to be working right now.
I mean, heck, if you're T-Neck and going for stuff like that, I mean,
wow.
Asia scoring off the pass to doing it all, clearing the space, playing the passes, getting the goals. I mean, he is just on a run early this morning. You think maybe he had a good night's sleep, because you can tell he is on something else and is working perfectly for Winthrop.
It's been great, man, watching this team operate. And unfortunately, on the other side of the coin here for UNCW, it feels like that was the backbreaker quite literally. Whenever you have that 1v1 situation with Steve, it's like, well, I gave everything and still weren't able to find a way to save that ball, and it makes it very difficult. Although UNCW here on the goal line need to be able to punch it in, but unfortunately, after 2 opportunities, they come up dry.
The fourth man just barely reaching in and knocking that one out for Wilmington, as the post saves the day once again. And that just looks so close. It went from an open opportunity for Winthrop to almost an open opportunity for Wilmington. So kind of going back and forth, but still that 3-1 scoreline is looming over the heads of the Seahawks, as they got to try to get one back. They still got plenty of time, only 3 minutes remaining, so all the time to work with. But with Winthrop still threatening, the pre-jumps coming out, you can tell how confident they are today. When you see pre-jumps like that coming out and the passes going through, you already know it's going to be a good day for a team if they're able to keep that kind of confidence for the rest of it.
Definitely, and you're seeing them, they're not even, facing the consequences of those pre-jumps in a sense, because they're out of boost and then having to rotate back out, and still somehow able to get around and do it with that confidence. And spacing has been basically perfect. That allows you to operate in that way. We talked about it yesterday that Winthrop was doing it. We see it again showcased here, as that one will go out to midfield. You mentioned though 2:30 left on the clock, so you still have some time. Here's a grand opportunity. Need to score that one, and they do.
Radical just playing that outlet downfield after the touch to Steve, and a kind of an unfortunate situation for Winthrop where they just barely skimmed it off Steve's touch. It wasn't strong enough to get there, but Radical playing in that position, realizing Steve at least had the touch and got the lucky bounce of the 2, so that's going to be a free shot for them, and they still have a goal to come back from, but half the game remaining. Remember, Winthrop, they are strong when it comes to putting that counterattack pressure on, and when the Wilmington right now is finding it hard to get through it unless they get these counterattacks themselves. So they got to try to regroup themselves, or else this might be another one for Winthrop as the shot goes high. The double goes barely off, and that's going to go right into the hands of T-Neck in the corner.
Yeah, I thought Phantom might be able to finish that one. We've seen it before. NCW have inched their way back into it with 2:01 left. Here's Phantom playing it high. There's Tech up for it already. He'll go back wall. Radical right it though. Get pinch off the back wall as well. Usually you see UNCW anticipating that and getting down the field, but nobody was up to be able to get to that one, because they were still rotating around after the last onslaught of Winthrop had come through, and Sluggish played down the field.
It's like, I mean, just the pressure. You see all 3 overcommit for Winthrop. This is a prime opportunity for Wilmington, but Sluggish just no boost in the corner of Winthrop, and they just cannot find a way out. Finally, Radical gets over 1, the second man able to get the 50, and Steve trying to keep all the press he can. but it doesn't matter. Here comes Winthrop, all three grouped together, ready to take on this Seahawks squad. But right now, T-Neck tries to get the 50 down. Steve almost landing on it, and Phantom gets a free clear out. Wilmington now finally finding the rhythm and getting the press down, but with the kinds of passes like that, they just miss out on so many opportunities, and Winthrop tries to take these counters. They got to be more capitalize more on these kind of opportunities, because right now with only a minute remaining, your series hopes to get best of 7, not best of 5, but it doesn't matter. T-Neck is going to try to make sure that you get down 2-0 and possible timeout after this game, unless Wilmington can come back.
Oh, absolutely, because it's gotten to that point where you've tried and tossed about everything that you have in this moment, so take an extra moment to be able to figure it out from here. So I think a timeout should be incoming here, especially if they can't mount this comeback, which feels like a long shot. That pass, you mentioned it, sluggish, had that opportunity to be able to put it. I think it just rolled off his car. You got to put it out of your mind here. Those unfortunate things may happen. You have to be able to execute. You're 100% right. So we'll go back to Nakari. Even more time with that air drag, but big credit Reticle for being up there. That allows Steve to step up on his place. Almost got another touch while he's up there with the ceiling, but kind of connect with that one as this one will fall back into the hands of Phantom. He'll look back down the pitch. Got a couple of touches. Force Steve to go up to the corner, get that touch, and now UNCW the other way. Nobody back here. Steve is trying to punch it in, but another opportunity where somehow Winthrop will just end it before it even begins.
And you got to think, unless they get a goal here, that is going to be for sure game 2 over as Steve tries to get that one up. And now they just look to the next couple games. He said you might see the timeout come here depending on whether they decide to take it or not. I suggest they do. And something I say as a coach, as I coach the East Tennessee State boys, is that you'll see, like, you know, rotations is a heavy part of the game, and obviously mechanics are another. But to me, the most important thing about a game is how you are mentally prepared in certain situations, especially if you're going down in series. Are you able to keep yourself in the mind space of, okay, we know we're better than this team. It's just been a fluke these past 2 games or whatever, and we do see the timeout coming out, as Reticle has called it in the chat, so we will get about an extra minute after the next match screen ends to see them kind of talk it over. And you already know that they're going to be talking about how demo heavy that Winthrop's been. They need to be more aggressive. They need to slow down Winthrop by putting their own pace in it. They got to go quicker at this and make Winthrop awkward, or else they are just going to keep that pressure on, and T-Neck is going to continue to just cause an onslaught on the back end.
Yeah, and somebody has to be able to organize this one. It's going to be Reticle here, because I know, you know, score isn't everything here, and stats aren't everything either, but Reticle had 2 goals, so clearly he's seeing the pitch from a full perspective in a way that UNCW is able to find opportunities to beat Winthrop in moments rather than in full games, unfortunately for them. But why not have Reticle be the one to call a timeout, be able to organize this, be the leader of UNCW right now, because clearly he's seeing something that he wants the rest of the team to know. So take that extra minute, point out what that is, figure it out, and come back into game number 3 stronger.
Yeah, Winthrop, you have to take advantage of this timeout too, because you know they're going to try to adjust to you. They're going to be looking, okay, they know what we're doing. We have to be careful about this. Play a little bit more this way or this way. If Winthrop just decides, okay, let's go back into it, same thing that's been working, and Wilmington finally figures it out and actually adjust to it in the game, then that is going to be a lot to pay, because they're going to start losing game after game until they end up calling their own timeout and try to be like, okay, what do we fix now? If you're Winthrop, you got to fix it. You got to change it up just a little bit, not too much, because it's been working great, but just enough to where you know they're going to try to mess with you a little bit. But Wilmington, you got to know this as well. You got to be like, okay, this is how they played. We got to do this if we want to win, and that's exactly what I expect to see them. Reticle try to lead his team into.
Is it more of a proactivity that you're looking for from Winthrop, in the fact that, hey, I know that they're making adjustments, let's just try to tweak something and then throw them off? Or is it more of a reaction where you're coming into the first couple of minutes and saying, okay, what are they doing? Are you confident enough as Winthrop, you know, to go back out, react to what they're doing, and then be able to create a counter strategy of your own?
Yeah, Winthrop, if I were them, realistically, Wilmington is going to try to get more demo heavy. They've realized that Winthrop has gone more Adam. The only way to really counter that is to do it right back. If they can't demo you, if you demo them, you know, if you're off the pitch, they can't do anything to you. So you got to be more aware of that. Play quicker around them. The second you see them pushing up, watch that first man. I guarantee you they're going to be leaving that ball a little bit more and having that second man follow instead. Play around it. Just go immediately and challenge, so that way the demo can't go through. They're forced one back, and then Winthrop has a free 2v2 to take.
Let's keep an eye on this as we approach game number 3. See if that is the strategy indeed that they're going to go with. We're moving into this one here. UNCW has done a good job in the first minute. Again, just seems to get away from them a little bit later on during games. As a couple of unfortunate touches there for Reticle. Will be off the backside of the car in a demo. once again, we talked about that physical strategy. Winthrop is not going to change that, and there's another opportunity in the box because of it. And luckily for UNCW, they get out this time. They've actually organized something from the defensive end. That's something we didn't see in game number 2.
And they looked a lot more gathered, but they still got to get aggressive. And here we go with the passing plays. Reticle had the opportunity off the demo from Steve. A great team play, but just a miss. And that is going to be such a bad opportunity just thrown to the wayside. We see them still keeping that pressure on, trying to keep it on like we talked about. They got to stay aggressive. They can't let up, or else Winthrop is just going to take over as we see more shots going on. Reticle doesn't get the touch. Steve has to play it out. Nakari cutting for T-Neck as he knows that T-Neck would have got 50. So Sluggish tries to make a throw on the backboard to make him awkward, but Phantom gets a great touch. Steve still keeping it out, and a great middle pass to Reticle. Reticle gets the flip. This might be an open net, but he leaves for boost instead of staying in. They have to stay in as the first man if they want to win. They're throwing themselves out of the place way too much and giving Winthrop so much space.
And there's what they're going to do with this space. We'll see from Tech. This one tapped back down. Luckily, Reticle able to get back to it. It feels like they've been boost start for so long here, Skyline, that they changed the way that they're going to focus. You can't get boost focus in this moment. And the demos as well have just been nasty. They continue. NCW's been lucky that they haven't been able to punch one in yet on the other side. Winthrop will look to do it now. They've got Phantom. High pass, but no intended target there as they had peeled off the play. That allows them to flick out to center field, but Tech is going to punch it right back in. Another opportunity, but UNCW just giving away possession.
Once again, Phantom getting 2 demos right there back to back, something we saw from T-Neck last game. Like you said, they are still staying aggressive, and that's exactly what Winthrop are so good at. And why not keep doing it? You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's exactly what they say, and it's for a reason. Winthrop has been so successful whenever they go for these demos and throw off Wilmington, but Wilmington trying to stay strong in this offensive half, something we haven't seen the past 2 games. They're trying to keep it on by staying on that ball as first man, staying more aggressive. You see Sluggish diving there as third man, even though he's able to get the demo and clear it now for Steve to take time. But even so, they're taking too much. Like I said, they're going too slow. Winthrop is just they're playing their own pace, and Wilmington has to switch that pace to their own if they want to come back into this series, or else Winthrop is just going to stay the same. They're going to keep that pace up. They're going to stay aggressive, and it's just going to be shot after shot going on their net where they're making diving saves like Sluggish is going to have to as the third man.
Yeah, you see the clear strategy of UNCW. They're jumping out down the field early, trying to get that head start from Winthrop on the other end, see if they can't expose it on the counterattack, and that's all fine and dandy unless you aren't able to get that pass out to center, and that's what we've seen a couple of times, as now that close to being a Winthrop lead. But Reticle out to center. Steve ran out of boost, unfortunately. Sluggish is having to jump there, and nobody's back here either. You gotta be able to get a 50 and kind of calm that play down. Unfortunate circumstance for Steve there with the misread, and Tech with that 50 set up Phantom.
Yeah, Steve, all the time in the world, even when no boost, just could have waited for that to drop to his car and then played a flick or at least a 50 like you said, and instead just tries to rush it way too much. I know I said they need to go quick, but that is not what I meant. You're going quick and rushing into a play when you're not supposed to are 2 completely different things, and that's exactly how you play quick. They heard me talking, and Steve was like, okay, I'll show you how to play quick. Goes for the 50 off Phantom, and just a great follow-up from Reticle to slot that one back right.
I love that from Steve, because you made that minor miscalculation on the last sequence, but instead of getting in your own head, that was a great decision to slow down the play, knowing that Reticle will have, be able to push with the amount of time that you gave him. Great decision making, able to just stay in this play, and in this game, they've looked more organized than they have been for an extended period of time. They have come in with this strategy, and it's been working for them too, because Winthrop, whenever UNCW is taking off down the field, they're having trouble answering this one. This time around, though, they will break through. Phantom able to make it 2-1 here for Winthrop.
Just saw the 3v1 as a dive coming out, trying to, again, just going way too quick. You're diving, throwing yourself out of the play essentially because you already are beat. That is not what I mean when you need to play quick, but in Wilmington, they're still adjusting. Like you said, they're looking a lot better, but you can't be leaving 3v1 situations like that for Sluggish, who has been the main defender. Like I said, yesterday he was the main defender. He still is the main third man on this back line, but having to deal with, okay, is this guy going to shoot? Is he going to go for a bump? I mean, you have all the options in the world for Winthrop, and we might see just the mechanics come out from Phantom floating through the air, and what a musty double tap trying to get fancy with it, and he shows his mechanics off.
Insane. Just beautiful play there. And I think it answers our question, too, that we said during the timeout. It's how is Winthrop going to come out here? And they did. They reacted to what UNCW was doing. It took them a little bit longer than I was anticipating, to be honest. But even 3 minutes isn't bad. They opened the floodgates. They will miss that one, though. If you're going to find any kind of positive here for UNCW in this series, it's that they were able to score in that sequence, and they're blocking each other's goals. So you still got a minute here left to push as well. But Winthrop all smiles here regardless, I think.
I mean, you're up 2-0 series, about to go 3-up if you can hold this 2-goal lead and still keeping pressure on toward Wilmington is basically having to make diving save after diving save like the last 2 games. Obviously, you're still going to be all smiles. You're looking forward to ending this series quick so you can maybe take a break, go get some lunch, and get ready for the next series coming up, which we'll wait for after, I believe, I forget who they play against next. Do you remember who they play the winner of? Is it Charlotte and...
Let's take a peak. I think it is Charlotte and the crew there. It would be up against that, let's see, there'd be 2 and 3, so it would be against winner of, UNC Charlotte's and NC State, that's right.
Okay, so realistic. I mean, I could see NC State upsetting that. They looked really good yesterday, especially at the end against UNCG. Just took them a second to get together. Charlotte looked a little bit iffy. So no matter what, for whoever plays, if they end up winning the series, if we don't see a reverse sweep come out for Wilmington, they're going to be looking to. I mean, they've looked dominant all day. Even though it's weird to say because bracket 1 or group 1 was 3-2-1s and an 0-3, and then bracket 2 was 3-1-2s and a 3-0, like completely opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yep.
It still looks like these teams, even if they're 1-2 or 2-1, are doing really good. And because most series have been close, you'll see some sweeps here and there, but they're still keeping a good eye out and keeping their front foot forward, and that's what you want to see from these teams if they want to stay in it.
Absolutely. Winthrop came in with a mission. Even when UNCW did their best to throw a punch here. Dodge and weave, get to the next one, throw the next punch, and Phantom threw 3 of them. Hat trick, another 5 shots. Just between that and game 1 alone, that's a total of 13 shots. And he had plenty in games 2 and 2, rather. So that's so much pressure that's mounting at every given time, and everybody else got involved too. I mean, this Winthrop team strikes you from basically everywhere, and when UNCW decided that they wanted to cheat and make that their primary strategy here, Winthrop had an answer.
Yeah, Wilmington, I feel like I haven't seen more than like 5 shots in any of the games they played. They've just been so stuck on defense. Even the save total isn't showing much. They only have 5 saves, which is a good amount, but you're still allowing Winthrop to get 2 more than you, and they've been putting so much pressure on to where that blue half has just looked smothered with an orange streak on that back end of the ball. So right now, again, they have to adjust that timeout. They talked about it a little bit more. They looked more put together at the beginning of the game but started falling apart. They have to stay consistent throughout the entire game and get that pressure going, because like I said, if they don't continue getting those demos, which I still didn't see much if any from last game, they have to get aggressive, get those demos, clear Winthrop off the field, or else they're just going to take every ounce of space they get.
Got to answer fire with fire. It has got to come here and now. Tournament lives on the line already this early in the morning. Only just past 10:30. UNC Wilmington's going to be fighting for their lives, but a lot of teams do step up in that moment. Whatever it's do or die, guess what? Now's the time to perform. It's just something about human nature that knows this is the case. The reason why I think UNCW will have their best chance in this game. Now, whether or not they're going to walk away with the dub, that's a whole different story here.
I mean, they talk about Predator and Prey Bear Light, and right now you see the Predator being Winthrop and the Prey being UNC Wilmington until they can hopefully swap it around.
I agree. You got to be able to come in with the same. I feel like, they were making some progress, but now you make the minor adjustments necessary in order to hold them off, and you got to be able to track Phantom where he's at too. Obviously, you don't want to be focused on any one thing when this team can strike you from anywhere. He's been deadly here, sluggish up in the air. Looking for the far side, but again, it can be defended nicely here by the Eagles. Steve up the ramp too. Reticle. When it was below him, Phantom was able to get it out to midfield. That's exactly where he wants Sluggish to be. He has been that defender you mentioned. Continues to be that menace. That one got past Phantom. Now Sluggish does a good job to tap it away from him here from the corner. Into Wade's good patience there off the post. They do strike through. I got a little bit nervous, but the Seahawks will get the 1-0 lead here.
See, Sluggish, a great fake off that ceiling and had a wide open net, and that miss off the post from the fourth man almost allowed Phantom to get back in that save, but that zero boost rushing into it too much. Reticle playing the patient guy, just staying second, waiting for that bounce to happen, and then attacking immediately. Great play on the front end for Wilmington, as now we finally see them taking a lead once again, like we saw in, I believe it was game 2, before they ended up still losing it. So they got to try to hold on, and if anything, increase it more, because right now a 1-goal lead has looked so minute for a team like Winthrop, who's been so easily able to come back and take leads of their own by 2 or 3.
Yeah, think about the goal gap that we've seen. Winthrop's had 20 more than we've seen from UNCW. That means that their 3 minutes and 15 seconds not ticking quite as hard for them, especially in this moment where their tournament lives aren't on the line. And they look pretty relaxed, and UNCW still looks on edge. It worked for them in that moment to be able to get them the lead, but it's going to dissipate very quickly Matter of 30 seconds, they got it right back.
And the Eagles soaring in as you see that first man just going so quick, and T-Neck trusting it already in that second man. Like you see that from teams with trust. Already so far up, ready for your teammate. Says he's challenging the ball. You're like, okay, I'm ready for you. Goes for that challenge, 50 perfectly right to him, and all he has to do is just tap in a wide open net. That is what Winthrop has done the entire day. That's what they did yesterday. Even though they went 1-2, like I said, close series against South Carolina was a loss. You lose to Clemson off some unfortunate stuff, but you still end up beating Charlotte. This is a team to be feared for this land whenever they put themselves in those situations where they trust each other and stay on the ball like they do. That first man getting so aggressive as you see here, T-Neck just throwing it on target, making Wilmington make those diving saves with 0, something that Wilmington has to do all game long, and they just cannot reach it there. Another play from Phantom to Nakari, and that will give the lead right back to the Eagles.
Winthrop has this way that it takes them very little energy to get UNCW to jump through hoops and use a ton of theirs. And because that's the case, that's how you can see this lead flip-flop so quickly. We see another example of exactly that. And for Wilmington, super discouraging. It's been multiple times in this series. They've had the lead. It's gone away. It's just if they're able to maintain that focus for an extended period of time. But here's a good look. Unfortunately, it looks like it will be cut short. To give away possession here with Nakari. Will bully him enough for Phantom. That's never who you want to see in the air here. But Breeze sent to toss it far side. But Sluggish able to make the save. But man, that was close.
Phantom has been pulling out all the stops with his mechanics today, just playing so insanely well. And not only that, you got to feel for the Seahawks. A shot going on, but a great save from Phantom once again, being the man of the hour for Winthrop. As a shot going on, and Reticle off the crossbar. Sluggish still keeping pressure on, but not able to get the reach. And with only a little over a minute and a half remaining, we might see the tournament hopes and dreams of Wilmington go down the drain, and they have to go all the way back down to the beach where they get to enjoy the sand and the ocean and some colder weather. Winthrop gets another goal here to put it in the coffin, but Reticle tries to take it right back. The 1v1 situation goes for the double. The angle can't come through. It's the second man there. No, Phantom gets a great touch out, or it was actually Nakari, excuse me, able to get that touch out, but still the pressure looming for Wilmington as they try to get this one back.
Reticle made a great read here. Now he's going to toss it towards the net, but that one shut down from Phantom. Didn't need a whole lot of boost in the tank. And look at that clean touch from Nakari. Get a fake low. Sluggish was there. Steve took a shot, easily handled there from Phantom. Need to be able to generate some grade A chances. Right now you have shots from Wilmington. You just need to see one go in. That's it, but they're in trouble right now. Phantom again trying to get there, but Sluggish able to shut the door.
A great cut, and Wilmington look so good, but a shot going over, and Winthrop, the chances to end this game early, there's come so plentiful, but none are going through. Everything is off the crossbar and the post. No boost for Wilmington. Steve is awkward, and Nakari possibly puts the dagger of his blade through the hearts of the Seahawks.
There is nothing Wilmington can do. Wilmington was just it. They were handcuffed in that situation, just trying to dive back and forth, make boostless saves, and they did it for a little bit, but it's only going to last just so long when Winthrop was just on the doorstep, ready for it. And they are looking to close out by a sweep. 30 seconds left here. Wilmington needs one quick. But all their hopes and dreams in every situation they've had good looks have been denied by the Eagles, who now are in marching form here to close out this series. Looking good. They're staying on the offensive side of the ball. All signs point to the Eagles, in which they will say business as usual. A great series from the number 2 seed. We saw them do great yesterday. They may have had some slip-ups, but not in the first round. They look sharp from the get-go. Even when UNCW tried to adjust, Winthrop will complete the sweep and move on.
Now, Winthrop just looks so good. I mean, you gotta give it to the whole entire team, and specifically Phantom. Phantom, I mean, the mechanics, he was so confident. You could tell that he was ready for today. He wants to make an impression on all these teams. He wants to put fear in the eyes of the hearts of everyone else at here, whether it's Charlotte, South Carolina. He says, I don't care who you are, bring them to me. And then T-Neck also bulldozing his way through everyone. I mean, this team, they look so well put together. You can tell that their main roster with Tico, Percy, and Garrett G, even if they've helped them or not, it looks like they have, because they basically look like them themselves. They have reincarnated into their main team, and they are taking on every opponent one by one.
It's been a while since I've seen a team be able to do that here in C3, to be able to take your opponent, it almost looked like they were kind of playing with their food at the tail end there.
Yep.
Whenever they had them in backed in the corner, and there was just nothing you can do. They're swinging haymakers, and UNCW is diving left and right, doing a good job to try to stay alive, but that's all they can manage, unfortunately for them. Their tournament lives will be cut short here with a 4-0, and but I mean they gave it their all. They had a decent day number one, so it's something that you can kind of build on. UNCW, their goal at this season, obviously you want to make land and then perform a little bit better than that, but just making land is a good step in the right direction to develop something special at UNCW, even though they did lose and they will be going home.
Yeah, I mean, top eight is nothing to scoff at
Yeah.
whatsoever. Being able to make it here into NC State and Raleigh, North Carolina. And speaking of, again, a big shout out to our sponsor, Visit Raleigh. If you're ever looking to come to North Carolina, then Raleigh, obviously the capital here. And we talked about the sports yesterday, and I mean, you can never get enough of the sports here, obviously with the Hurricanes. And just so beautiful. I love it over here. I've loved North Carolina my entire life. I've lived here my entire life, lived about an hour from Raleigh, and I always come here because I have friends that live in the area, gone to NC State, and again, NC State, beautiful campus, amazing esports lab. Shout out to them. So if you're ever thinking about visiting North Carolina and especially visiting Raleigh, visit Raleigh.com. That is visitraleigh.com, and that will give you all the information you need to have to if you are planning on coming over here.
Home away from home, and not possible without it as well. C3 very thankful as C3 Esports League being able to manage this land, and like you said, NC State with the hands that they have and working close with them. Visit Raleigh has been great, and NC State, I mean their staff members also here since the get-go for setup, everything that you need has been great here. So big shout out and thank you to NC State and Visit Raleigh. Well, we're not done again here on the B stream. We still have some quarterfinals matchups cooking for you, so keep it parked right here in the meantime as we will take a quick break. Right back with you.